Assalamualaikum and good morning to all brothers and sisters. I would like to remind all participants to be prepared as our program will begin shortly. For students, please mute your microphone and turn on your camera to avoid any disturbance and ensure the smoothness of the program. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all brothers and sisters. I would like to remind all participants to be prepared as our program will begin shortly. For students, please mute your microphone and turn on your camera to avoid any disturbance and ensure the smoothness of the program. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all brothers and sisters. I would like to remind all participants to be prepared as our program will begin shortly. For students, please mute your microphone and turn on your camera to avoid any disturbance and ensure the smoothness of the program. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good morning to all brothers and sisters. We have now reached 7 participants. Let's wait for some more. I would like to remind all participants to be prepared as our program will begin shortly. For students, please mute your microphone and turn on your camera to avoid any disturbance and ensure the smoothness of the program. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to all of you. Alhamdulillah, we are grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His grace and love that we can gather together in this online session today. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's workshop on this wonderful morning. Thank you everyone for participating. A very warm welcome to all participants and guests to the Upskilling Students Meet Photoshop Workshop 2021. I am Alfazari, your MC for today. For your information, Upskilling Students Meet Photoshop Workshop 2021 is COSA's first collaboration with IIUMFM. Inshallah, in today's workshop, we are going to learn a lot of techniques for Photoshop with our respective speaker, Brother Taufik Matnasir, that we hope we can improve our Photoshop skills, not just for assignment purposes, but also for our future. Okay, a kind reminder to all participants, please mute your microphone to avoid any disturbance, and if possible, please turn on your camera so that we can see your beautiful faces. If you have any questions, you may write down your question in the chat box. Attention to all participants, please fill in the form that we have provided in the chat box to record your attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, to attain blessings from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for our agenda today, I would like to invite Brother Amshar to recite the dua. Please welcome.
Let's begin with Kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadza jam'an mubarakan marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan mubarakan ma'suma wa la taj'alillahumma fina wala ma'ana syaqiyan wala mahruma. Rabbana 'alaika tawakkalna wa ilaika anabna wa ilaikal masir. Allahumma tawil a'marana wa sahih ajsadana wa thabbit imanana wa wasi' arzaqana wa hasin alaqana wa nawwir qulubana bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma ja'alna min ahli khairi wa ja'alna min ahli barakah wa ja'alna min ahli maghfirah. Allahumma ja'alna min ahli jannah wa ja'alna min ahli firdausil a'la bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma ja'al majlisana hadza majlisan mubarakan li ashabina wa ahlina wa jiranina wa duyufina bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, we express our gratitude to you for allowing us to attend the launching ceremony of Upskilling Student Needs program on this auspicious morning. Ya Allah, we ask you for the safety of our religion and the welfare of our body. Oh Allah, Lord of the implementing authority, make the days that we have gone through, starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing, and end with thy forgiveness. And also make the days that we have gone through with guidance and end with victory of excellence. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Thank you Brother Amshar for the recitation of dua. Ladies and gentlemen, our workshop on this glorious morning is entitled Upskilling Students Meet USN Photoshop Workshop 2021. Before we begin, let us all know our great speaker first, as the Malay saying goes, tak kenal maka tak cinta. Before I invite our main speaker for today, I would like to give a brief detail about him. He is an executive producer of Haluan Malaysia, a freelance photographer, videographer, graphic designer, and also an IIUMFM alumni. Without further ado, let us welcome Brother Taufik to start with the theoretical lesson. Please welcome.
Okay. Test. Okay. Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi shrah lana sudurana wa yassir lana wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawlana. Insyaallah Assalamualaikum everyone. Good morning. Jumaah Mubarak to all of you. So my name is Muhammad Taufiq Ahmad Nasir. My username, my surname, my my username, my call name, Taufiq MNI. And so I used to be, I am graduate. So first of all, I want to thank IIUMFM and COSA for organizing this and inviting me. So I am FM members too. I used to be a executive producer for one of dan dakwah program, producer for program dan dakwah. So for almost 2 years, I got married to my DJ. So that holds a significant place lah in my heart. Let's not waste our time for introduction. I will share my. Let's share. Can I share my slide? Okay. For today's class, I will divide into two. First 1 hour, I will teach you the basic of learning the best interface, learning the interface of Photoshop. And then the other half, we will give you we will give you time to try on practical on based on what I teach you, so you can try basic to create basic posters for maybe anything you can try, because this time different because in previous classes that I've conducted, usually physical class, so I can check on your, maybe you have problems, I can assist you. But today we will see how I can maybe you can share screen and how, but inshallah that later. So first, for the first hour, first half, we will learn the interface of, we will look at it we will look at the interface of Photoshop, inshallah. Okay. So a little bit of my introduction. My name is Taufiq Masih, based in Selangor, and 26 years old. 26. I'm an international graduate, IIM graduate. Studied human science communication, specializing in electronic media. Okay. I have wide experience in graphic design and videography because it's my that's my job, my task in the office, and also I do it for freelance part-time work. Okay, so yeah, I'm currently working at Haluan NGO in Bandar Baru, Bangi. So that's short of my introduction. So okay, let's jump into, I will show you some of my works using Photoshop, so that you have have what to imagine what Photoshop can do lah. So I just will share my Photoshop work during IIUM. I will tell you why, because Photoshop. Okay. These are some of my work using creating posters using Photoshop. Okay. Okay, because Photoshop. Okay, we use Photoshop for basically okay, for introduction to know more. Okay, Photoshop is the product of Adobe. Okay, so they created many softwares, media softwares, digital softwares for artists, for designers, and for artists. Okay, so they have many products for videography, for animation, animator, for designers, for for photographers. So they have many product of category. So Photoshop is one of that, and it included in photography package. Basically it's the Photoshop photography category, but then you can hack that function for design, graphic design. Okay, because it has the basic function that you can use it for posters design and so on. I mean, it has some similarities between Photoshop and Adobe Illustration. Adobe Illustrator is mostly used for graphic design. If you really and publication, I will show you the difference. Okay, so to get to know about Photoshop. Photoshop is used for retouch photos. Retouch photos mean you can fix your photos. Let's say you photograph a model, and then you want to remove the pimples or scars in their face, so you can use Photoshop. This what Photoshop is. It can do the job. Okay, you can remove the pimples more professional and details compared to uh, uh, application on mobile apps. So it's for professional. So you can nowadays you can easily remove pimples on mobile apps using Snapseed. I mean, using snow apps, filters, but it's not gonna be profile for professional. Okay, it will not be acceptable for publication professional. Okay, Photoshop use to edit. We use it for edit artwork for digital print. That could be a photo, painting. So you can painting on Photoshop. You can drawing and or anything else. Photoshop you can use for the digital images for the web, like social media images, banner ads, email headers, videos. Creating these images in Photoshop will ensure they are right size and optimized for the web. So Photoshop also can create materials for web. So the sizes and the resolution can fit the requirement in web. For Illustrator also can, but it's enough lah. You can, you can create that in web, because web doesn't need a high resolution compared to printing big sizes of publication. Let's say billboard, and that you must need Illustrator design and high resolution of photos. So for web, just small resolution, so it can create that can be created in Photoshop lah. Photoshop also can create animation and video. Yes, Photoshop can create photo animation, simple photo animation like GIF. You can create time lapse, but it's very minimal function, very unlike apa. It's a very if you really want to make animation and animation, you can focus on Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe After Effects. Okay, so it's not primarily for video lah, and for graphic design. Basically Photoshop. Okay, it's for images. It's photo. Okay, so there can be a photo manipulation, such as you swap face of celebrity. Nowadays it's widespread. You can create gossips. Sometimes you can create gossips of celebrities being there without being there, being with someone without being being someone. So that that's the power of the Photoshop lah. The power, you can use it for good and for bad. Well, I hope you can use it for good lah, insyaAllah. I forgot to mention that I use Adobe Illustrator. I use Photoshop. I use Adobe products. Mainly I use Photoshop. Photoshop for images, Adobe Illustrator for creating graphic design. Posters mainly right now I'm using Adobe Illustrator. Previously, during my early learning about, I want to pursue my passion in graphic design. To learn, I used to make graphic design in Photoshop professionally. Create find money, side money using Photoshop. Okay, but soon I learned that I should moving on to Illustrator. Okay, and then I use Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects for videography, video editing, and yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure you all have Adobe ni kan, Adobe. So you have Adobe Photoshop. I assume that you all have Adobe Photoshop in your laptop right now. Okay. I have the original and licensed Photoshop lah. I'm not responsible if you usually previously in Photoshop class we used to give the portable Photoshop for participants. So I'm not sure how participant right now. Okay, so welcome Okay, so we use different apps. I mean, use different software when we need to create logo. Okay, no, logo is not meant for Photoshop. Okay, logo is not meant for Photoshop. Because I will show you after this. Because there are many so different places. No, logos need to be resizable. Uh, some so logos that main used for, I mean, logos is everywhere. I mean, we can put logos in posters, in book publication, in billboard printing, uh, big size billboard. As you can see at the highway, we have big billboard. So if we create logo using Photoshop, it cannot be resizable, and it can be pixelated and blurry because Photoshop using raster images, uh, unlike the Illustrator, it use vector. I will show you after this. So uh, you unless you want to stumble through bunch of challenging workaround, so your images will exist only one size. So it will making them unacceptable for printing. So it's not good creating you can, but for it's not good for company's profile, for organization profile, because must know that later on the company or organization will need to print, be prepared that the companies will need to print something big, so it will get blurry and pixelated using Photoshop. So for creating logos, we will use Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so I have a many experience lah, working with clients. They ask me to make a big 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 size of printing, and then they give us only the Photoshop file, or maybe logo that in JPEG. In JPEG, PNG okay lagi, tapi in Photoshop, I mean, giving JPEG is the nightmare lah, biggest nightmare for designers, because for sure it will be pixelated, and sometimes we need to recreate the logo, because it's too bad for printing. Even it's not for printing, during our editing in Photoshop also we can see the pixelated so bad. Okay. So reminder to our, maybe you have graphic designer or in charge of media in IIUMFM or COSA. So do not give them cooperation to have vectors or PNG, at least PNG logos. Okay, every organization need to have that, because some organization doesn't have their own PNG logos, so that's bad. Okay. So you need to layout lots of text. So whether it's print or digital, Photoshop doesn't handle large amount of text very well. Headlines and short lines of copy of images like banner, ads, and social media graphics are fine. But if you are dealing with paragraph of text, try Illustrator and Design. Okay, in Illustrator, we can optimize the function of typesetting, I mean font, text, and in Design, used for publication, printing. I will show you. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so these are the difference between Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. Okay, I'm not using Adobe InDesign because that's not what I'm good at, and my task in office and not focusing on uh, publication lah, printing publication. So Photoshop, it use raster image editor. Raster image ni it how I want to say, you it's it use what can points and pixels. So a better resolution of photos. So better resolution lah for editing and public printing. Um, so that is raster image. We show you the difference after this to get clear understanding. Okay, it uses photos. We use for graphic, web graphic, mockup. You can create mockup. You can have you seen mockup of business card, mockup of what t-shirt. Okay, you can create artworks in Photoshop. Features, it has layers management. So you can manage your layers, let's say on top. This is basically easy to understand what's on top in the layer management in Photoshop. So that's what on top of our design. Okay, so image adjustment, yes. You can adjust the colors, you can adjust the environment. You can change background of your photos, and you can also create animation. That is not the main function of Photoshop lah. And then moving on to Illustrator. Illustrator, we use vector. Vector ni is the math calculation of, it's very sharp. Photoshop, if you zoom images in Photoshop, it will somehow, to some extent, it will get pixelated. But if you using vector, using shape in Illustrator, how many, uh, sorry, no matter how you zoom in Photoshop Illustrator, it will not blurry, and it will not be pixelated. So it's very good for publication, big size of publication. It can be used for many size of printing. Let's say you design for billboard, and then you also want to use that for F4 publication, this book size. So you can compare to Photoshop. If you start to design for billboard, you cannot use the same file to print for small sizes. If you start design with small sizes, you cannot use that material for big printing. Okay. So illustrators, we create to create logos, to create icons, to create one-page docs, can create mascots. I'm not sure what they mean by mascot. And then features, you can create, you can use vector shapes, typesetting ni text, and artboards. You can later you will see the difference between artboard function in Photoshop and Illustrator. And for the InDesign, we use for desktop publisher. I mean, this is in InDesign, we can design the books, booklet, magazine. So this is where they use the news company, they use InDesign. Okay, maybe I am news today. I am today. So they are very familiar with InDesign, inshallah. So I believe that. So uh, you can invite them to teach you um, learning InDesign. So okay, InDesign. So it's a different. Basically, all these three is somehow interrelated because in Illustrator we cannot crop photos. So if you creating posters and then you want to crop, remove background of someone, you still need Photoshop. Okay, you still need Photoshop, and then you drag the photos into Illustrator. Okay, same goes to Adobe InDesign. It can't remove background, so you still need Photoshop. InDesign cannot create in design you cannot create a fancy shape, cannot create uh, create fancy illustration, so still we need Illustrator. So Illustrator, we bring that our material into InDesign. So that basically we need all these three if you really into design and publication. So yeah, these three is very useful. Okay, we cannot only stick with one software. Okay, moving on. This is the example of Photoshop and Illustrator and Photoshop. This is the difference. Uh, if let's say I zoom 900%, will not be pixelated. Okay, no matter how. I mean, you can zoom anything in Illustrator unless for photos lah. Photos in Illustrator, if you zoom, it will get pixelated lah. But other than that, the shape, I mean font will not be pixelated. No matter how you zoom. That's great about Illustrator lah. And then Photoshop, if you low resolution of photos easily get pixelated and blurry lah. So let's say you have you take photos with using phones with low resolution, low pixels, and then if you put it in Photoshop, it will get blurry for sure. Okay, so that's why for professional, photographers, for companies, they hire professional photographers because they have higher resolution of cameras. It's for big printing lah, for billboards, for magazine, for big posters. So it needs a high resolution. So you cannot work with low photo manipulation in Photoshop using low resolution photos. Okay, so Illustrator mostly used by designers and Photoshop for artists and for drawer. I mean Illustrator. I mean the pelukis. I mean artist. And photo manipulator lah. Okay, this is the difference of in terms of artboard. Artboard is the working area. Okay, so in Photoshop, if you you have shape or font outside the artboard, you can still see it. You can still see it. But in Photoshop, they have artboard, but if you bring this font or shape, it will give to that to some extent you cannot see the material lah. You cannot see. You can only see in layer panel lah. But you cannot see outside the artboard. So it works like that compared to illustrators. So you can still see lah. Okay, so these are the tools in Photoshop. Later I will show the real real interface, and we will work in Photoshop. Okay, so it has selection tools. This is if you use Photoshop, if you already open Photoshop, you can see this. You can see these tools. Familiar? Are you familiar with this? Yeah, Marquee tool, lasso tools, magic wand, crop. Okay, and then we have alteration tools. Then we have brush, clone stamp, art history brush. Okay. Path selection tool, type. So it's where we use for text. And we have pen tool to create shapes and selecting lah, for selecting materials. And we have line shape, hand. Okay, and we have magnify for zoom in and zoom out our workspace. Okay, these are the, you can screenshot or what. These are these are some of the important keyboard shortcuts for Photoshop. So any software has their own shortcut. For Photoshop, they have these are the important that very we will use many of these that I list here. I listed here is very we will use it very much in Photoshop, like how to control open our project file, and to set a new project, to undo, Control Z usually, and save, Control S, control to zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Moving tool, we use V. Text tool, T. Eraser, E. Okay. Basically, we can change the symbols for this. You can text tool, we use we change to tab button ke, but this is the universal keyboard shortcut. If you watch any tutorial, they will use the same shortcut lah for others to understand. That's all our classes. Thank you. Okay, so that's the slide lah. Slide. But we will move on to Photoshop. Photoshop. We'll open Photoshop to see the interface. Okay, so have any questions until now? So how many participants today? Right until now, 27. Alhamdulillah. Good morning, everyone. So who's your, IIUMFM, who's your current advisor? Want to have chit chat lah. Sir Helmi, right?
Yes, Selini.
So everyone is at home or at campus,
Campus.
Campus, Alhamdulillah. Finally, yeah. Oh, some at home. Okay, so this is the shop. Okay. Okay, so this is the interface for Photoshop. I'm not sure everyone has what version of Photoshop. So I'm using the latest Photoshop 2021. This is the what we will see if we open Photoshop first. So on the left we have open and create new. You can open a previous project if you have, and also you can create a new project file using images. You can start with image, and also you can create a project start from scratch. Only plain surface, plain paper. Okay. We gonna start with create new. So if everyone, you can open the Photoshop. So I will start. I cannot see. Usually in physical workshop, I can ask lah. I can see whether you are open. Have you open? I can wait. Have you open Photoshop or not? So I just, if you, you can, if you have question, you can leave question here. I can see the your chat here. I will respond to that by time, inshallah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you use Photoshop, create new. You can see there are many templates and presets here. You can custom on the left. You can see my mouse. So you can create any sizes, custom size that you want for your project. And also you can go to presets given here. Photoshop prepared as the template. You can create for you have A4 size here. A4 size. This is what we basically use lah. And then you can, if you want more, you can see more tadi, right? You have many sizes here, more A3, A6, A5. So many options here you can use for illustration. We have many also for web preset. Okay, mobile size and film videos. So this is the preset for video lah. We can create animation, simple animation for, create templates or animation for videos lah. And for today, we start with F4. Okay, you use F4, and on the right side you can see the options. The properties for our project. So you can so use millimeters for and meters measurement for F4, and then the orientation, the portrait or landscape, you can choose lah. You want to use landscape, or you can use. Okay, and then these are the details that uh, I I even cannot master this. Okay, so you can just start with this F4. It's basically for printing details lah, for printing purposes. But usually the preset is fine if you want to just start with the design. Okay. Okay, anything you want to base name, and then you can create. So I'm using the pen tool, pen, so it's easy to control. You can. This is what the illustrators for artists, they use a pen to make easy drawing in Photoshop. Okay, so it has three. If you can see, it has, on the left we have panels, on the right we have panels too, and then on top also we have panels properties. Okay, so what we're gonna focusing on today's class is left tools, which is the very important part lah, to get to know Photoshop, its tools panel. Okay, toolbar. Okay, so I want to go each of these tools, but I will be focusing more on tools that needed for you and for us to learn how to create simple posters. Okay, not for photo animation, photo manipulator, and hard photo manipulator. Okay, so I've briefed your committees, the committees organizers, that this is the basic workshop. So if you want to, if you think that this class is very basic, I'm sorry. I already explained that. So okay, then okay, sorry. Let's go continue. So we have on top of above we have the properties bar. For any tools that we select, it has different properties bar lah. And for crop, it has different. Okay, and on the left, on the right, we have the panels panels for our project. So it has many panels actually that are hidden, but if you want to find it, you can go to on top menu bar. You can go to Windows. You can see there are many other panels that are hidden. Okay, let's say you want to find the paragraph. This is very important for writing text, text. So if you cannot find it here in your when you started the project, you can open Windows and find any other panels that are hidden here. The adjustment, 3D effects, okay. And also, these are the workspace that you can change. This is the default graphic and web. For graphic and web workspace, you can change. You go to workspace, you can change to essential, default. Okay. For painting, so if you choose the painting workspace, they give you the necessary panels and tools lah for painting. If you go to essential, basically these are the basic panels that people usually use lah for Photoshop. Okay, let's jump into Bismillah. So let's go to basic tools in Photoshop. Start from we start from top. So the first one is move tool. Okay, move tool. So this is where we use. You can see the tutorial. This is where we use to move our image or shape. We need to select these tools, or you can press V for the shortcut to change to move tool. Let's say I press V, and then I can move anything in my project. Okay. For moving to this is basic. It's like mover lah. Okay. All these tools, some of these tools have, some, okay, almost all have other function on it that are hidden. You can long press at the icon so that you can see. You can change the artboard into artboard tools. In artboard tools, you can create artboards. Artboard 1, artboard 2, but like I just said just now, Photoshop, the artboards in Photoshop work different compared to Illustrator. So let's not jump into that. So moving into tools. So that are the move tool. That is the move tool, and then moving on to marquee tool. Marquee tool is the selection of our. If you want to select anything from images, let's bring our image here. Okay. So let's say we want to remove this part of this square. We can remove using using this marquee tool. It has many shapes. We undo many shape. Circle marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool. So in universal button for, let's say you want to create proportionate shape, you can press shift and then create and drag. You can create a proportionate shape. That is the tips number 1. So basically marquee tool is the selection tool lah, but in shape. Okay, compared to moving on to lasso tools, it has it's a free shape. Okay, you can use Photoshop laser tools, and then you can you can crop any desired image on your, you can select any of the selection that free size. You can move it, you can crop it. Okay, you can paste this our selection. So now we have we can control C, command C. Now we have we have two person here. That's Photoshop. Okay, so lasso tools for selection, but free shape. And then we have polygonal lasso tool. This is for it very straight line. Okay, just that. Okay, just a very straight line. Okay. For magnetic tools, we can use this for selection shape or I mean the body that has a very contrast background. Let's say you want to remove, you are in student organization, right? Sometimes we have corporate, and you want to create a board, main board chart. So you take photos of someone with the background. Make sure that you have a clear background. I mean the very contrast background and your foreground and background. If you take photos all members with you wearing coat, make sure that your background is not black. Okay, make sure it's green, white. So please bear in mind. So your laser tool can make that things easier. It detects the surface, your photos. Bigger resolution and more contrast in images, more easier for Photoshop to detect your photo lah. They know what we want to remove. Okay. The person in this photo is in blurry, so they cannot precisely detect what our object. Okay. For moving on to quick selection tool, we have 3 here. Objection selection tool, and quick selection tool, and magic wand tool. I'm not used to object selection tool, but okay. Basically it's for selection tool, but it's new objection selection tool. I'm not really use it. Usually I use quick selection tool and magic wand tool. So magic selection tool same goes to three marquee tool and ni. Basically the function is to select sorry, I'm sorry that I'm using my own photos. Okay, so okay, like this photo, make sure that you have different background so that you can easily remove the image lah, the background. Okay, let's we use quick selection tools. We make the brush bigger. Okay, to adjust the size of any selection tools, I mean the selection tools or brush, the shortcut is you can you can change it in, you can right click and you can right click. You can change the size by pressing the bracket button. I mean left and right button bracket beside the P, the alphabet P. You can change the size. Okay. Okay, so bigger it depends on your image lah. You want to remove. Okay, let's say I want to remove this white background. So it also detects. Okay, if you can see, there are some of these that are spoiled. Okay, spoiled. So the we go back to quick selection tools. Right now we have this plus option. So we want to push this dot line to only my body. Okay. So we change into minus. So we want to minus this dot line. Okay. So we press minus and make our brush smaller. Can push the line so that it only outline my t-shirt. Okay, so now our photo is perfectly outlined or selected for background removal. So you can fix this. You must master the keyboard shortcut. If you can see, all these tools have their own shortcut tools. For moving tool, V. If you want to use marquee tool, you can press M. Laser tools, L. So our ni selection tools, quick selection tool and magic wand tool, W. Okay, so you can, sorry, tambah. these are the this is the one of the ways to remove background by making selection tool using this selection tool. Okay, there are other options to remove background which is more precise. Okay, so this is the first magic quick selection tool, and then you can use magic wand tool also. Same function, almost the same function. It can uh, automatically uh, select our ni, but it based on the resolution and pixel. So if bad pixel, then bad pixel and bad background, so it will be like this lah. So the selection is not precise. You have to work on the manual selection in the end. Okay. We deselect first. Okay, moving on. You guys okay? Can catch up. Moving on to crop tools. You can crop lah. Any crop. You can manually crop any size that you desire, and or you can you have the we have the preset here, square, any preset lah. Okay, I say you want to have square, so you have square, so you need to place the photo correctly, and then click right or enter. Undo. Okay, that's the crop tool. Easy tools. Okay, perfect perspective crop tool. Uh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm rarely use this, and um, I'm not really know how to use this. Okay, slice tools for it's not for it's for slicing tools. For slicing tool, like say we have shape here. Sorry, say we have shape. Oh, we already achieved 11 a.m. So yeah, that the I mean we can learn Photoshop in 1 hour. Uh, I mean you can learn. I mean it has a lot of many things to learn. Only no basic tools. Only only apa? Dah it already takes a lot of hours, right? A lot of time. So we can proceed later, okay, with further class. Okay, moving on to this eyedropper tools. You can eyedrop any colors that you want. Let's say you want to drop, you can see here the color here is pink. So you want to select this color, orange. It changes to our any desired color that we select lah. Need to select and my face. Okay, we have the black. Okay. Moving on to spot healing brush tool. This is what many photo manipulator use. They can remove the pimples using this tool. Okay, so my pimple is removed. I think this photo is already Photoshop. I think I have Photoshop this image. So patch tool, patch healing brush, option click to define. Okay. Okay. You need to press alternate for Windows and MacBook for option for MacBook. For Mac, so you can select. You must to select any desired place to fix. Okay, that's the for spot healing lah. It's not easy to learn, but that's the basic one. I mean to know the basic what's the function, and then for the brush, moving on to brush tools, it's easier for have pen like this. Okay. For drawings, you can draw something. Okay, and that's for brush. You can also use your pad, touchpad or mouse. But for if you're using pen tool, pen here, it can detect your pressure and low pressure, small brush. If you press more, more bigger brush. Okay, that's for brush tool. Pen tool, just usual pen tool. Okay, mixer tool for drawer lah. For drawer. For drawings, we can mix colors. Okay. Moving on to next tools, clone stamp tool. This is where we double things. I mean, we want to double our object. We can use a clone stamp tool. Let's say I want to simple. I want to clone this. First we need to press alternate or option. Select what we want to clone. Then I can clone here. I can bring it here. Let's say here I want to clone my eye. Select what we want to. Okay, I can clone the eye. Okay, Dajjal. Okay, so that's how to make the brush bigger. You can use the bracket button lah. Okay, so okay, Control Z. Okay, that's clone stamp tool. Okay, to clone anything. Change to this. Clone. You can clone these flowers. You can clone this face. See, it moves simultaneously. We can choose lah what you want to. It follows your cursor. Okay, moving on to history brush tool. This is used for, let's say we erase something on our image and then we can recover that lah. Let's say not just a quick one. Let's say we remove our photos, I erase, and then I can use history brush tool to to get to get it back. That's just that. Moving on to eraser tool. Yes, simple to erase background. To erase any shape. To erase lah. So to erase our image. Okay. Eraser tool. We have other option of eraser tool, background, magic eraser tool, If you have a clear background and proper background, you can easily use that magic eraser tool. It can erase your background easily. So that's why it's important when you have photo shoot. Make sure you have very clear background. Let's look this. Let's here. Look at here. My collar is same with background. With a wall behind me, and then that's why Photoshop detect that it cannot differentiate the color, and then that's why it's spoiled. And then we use history brush tool. I can get it back. Okay, erase tool. Basic erase tool. Okay. So I've removed my background here. Oh, so I can create posters here from this image. Okay. So back to okay, moving on to basic. Next tools is paint bucket tools. You can create gradient here by selecting gradient tool. You can also paint any pixels or shape using this paint bucket tool. Let's say I want to paint anything here. And like you drawing chart. Paint just like that. Auto selection tools. If you have shape, and then you can color your shape lah. Moving on to blurry tools, you can blur things. Okay, so if you want to manipulate your photos, but you need to unlock these photos first. Basically, when we drag our photos, the photo is locked. So you cannot erase, you cannot brush on that image. So you need to unlock this first by clicking that. Okay. So now you can blur. So you can increase the blurry of the photo. You want to blur this. Okay. This is for manipulators also. You can manipulate photos here also to make it more cinematic. So these are the blur tools. Okay, moving on. Sharpen tools for sharpen. Let's say your photos is a bit blurry. If it's too much of blur, then you can change. Hard to change. Okay, sorry. Oh, we have passed that. Sorry. So how the committees we want to what to skip this or
I think we're gonna have a 5 minute break for a while, and
okay?
we continue with the practical lessons.
5
Okay.
minutes. Okay, thank you.
All
Sorry.
right. All right. So we have already finished the theoretical lessons. Uh, so thank you, Brother Taufik, for the tips and beneficial knowledge in Photoshop. Hoping that all participants will get the information and feel free to ask any question at the end of the session. Worry not, Brother Taufik will answer the question during the Q&A session. Okay. Attention to all participants. Please fill in the form that we have provided in the chat box to record your attendance. Okay, so we are going to take a 5 minute break. Please don't leave the event yet, and you may take a short break. We will be right back at 11:30 a.m. See you in a bit. Thank you, everyone. Hello everyone and Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to Upskilling Students Needs Photoshop Workshop 2021. Alhamdulillah, we have done with our first lesson. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. Attention to all participants, please fill in the form that we have provided in the chat box to record your attendance. Okay, now I think we can proceed with the practical lessons. I welcome Brother Taufik again, proceeded with the practical lesson. Please welcome.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum. So moving on to pen tools. Pen tools, you can use this for removing tools also. You can create shapes from pen tools. You can create shape. You can create shape. Okay. After you have connected your shape, your any pen shape, you can select up here whether you want to create shape or selection or mask. Okay, if you want to remove something, if you want to crop, you can you want to remove I want to remove my head. Okay, so just quick one. I not a detail, so I will select my face. I select my face. Connect. Make sure connect all the dots. Close the dot here just now, and then we press selection. We choose selection here, and then our photo will be the dot lines like previous. And then we can start. We can start move the head. Can move the head. I can copy each selection. We can have it for selection tools, or also we can make shapes from okay, can create shape. So this needs needs training how to play with the tool. Okay, you can create shapes, and you can choose shape. Then you can create colors. You can change it here. Okay, you can change the color of your shape. Okay. So, okay. So you can change the color. Okay, you can make any design here lah. And moving on to what now? Type tools. So you can add text here. This is very important. Text tool because it's very essential lah in any poster format. You must have text. So you can press T or click here T, and then you can paste anywhere you want, and you can start. Okay, let's say workshop plant flowery plant. So if you want to resize the text, you can go up here. You can see the numbers, size numbers, right? It's either you can choose your size like this, or you can just go to this icon, the icon. You can drag your mouse. It simply can resize the text of your of your text lah. If you have, if you want to have more option for the text, you can go here. You can go to Windows, and then go to paragraph. Make sure it's on. You can, yeah, I mean character. Sorry. You can go to character. It has many more other options for spacing, for like spacing like this. Size, many option here to uppercase. So it many other option here in characters panel. Character. For paragraph, you can change lah which side. Okay, to move, make sure press T. I forgot to mention, if you want to resize anything, a photo, image or shape, you can select here, or you can just select you can click on any shape you want, and then press Command T, or in your Windows Control T. So we can see the bounding box. So, and then you can drag. If you want to resize it proportionately, you can you must no, the recent version of Photoshop, you don't have to click, you don't have to press shift, you just have to drag. But previous Photoshop, you need to press shift at the same time. Size it. Okay, so we have a poster here. Type tools. You can have vertical type tool, meaning that your text will be vertical. And then we have the path selection tool and direct selection tool. This is for detail selection compared to moving tools. This can change your panel, your pen already in shape. Cannot be. I mean, explain this because we don't have example here. So moving on to shapes. This is also very important. To create shape, you can other option, many option here. You can create rectangular. You can select ellipse tool, triangle shape. Again, if you want to create proportionate shape, you must press shift at the same time. Say you want to create perfect circle shape, you must press circle, and then line. If you want to make a straight line, you must press shift. If not, it will get like this. Itu yes, shift. And then yes, custom shape tool. It's more complicated because we can create our own shape using that. So we not go into that. And then moving on to next tool is hand tool. Hand tool it's for us to move our own our project lah. Let's say we zoom and then we want to go a bit left, so we use hand tool to move. Or the shortcut is you can press space bar at the same time and moving your cursor left and right, okay, anything you want lah. Press space bar. Okay, and then moving on to rotate a video tool to rotate our project lah. This is for draw artists lah. They want to draw something and then rotate like that papers, right? Okay, reset. Okay, and then moving on to our magnifying zoom tool. The shortcut is Z, and then you can either you can press click on our subject anywhere you want. Just click one time like that, or you want to drag. You can drag place anywhere you want, and then you can drag your cursor zoom in and left for zoom out. Okay. If you want to our project fit the screen, you can press here fit screen or change screen, doesn't matter. Okay, so which one you like? Okay, drag or you can use that. Okay, so that's all. Okay, that's the basic tools, and then we have here is the color picker. So you can choose your color here, any color you want. Let's say you want to choose you want to brush something, so you choose your color here, any color you want, and then go to press B or go here, press 2. You can brush with your color selected, color selection. Okay, and you want to okay, that's pretty all of it. That's the overall. We have gone through all the basic tools that are in Photoshop. If you familiar with all the function, and you can start make your own poster, simple poster, basic posters. I mean, from create crop photos, you can now you have know how to start project. I mean, create a new project. You know how to crop images. I mean, you can apply, put any shape here. Here you can create a shape, and then you can put add font here. Okay, you can add font. You can change font. You can change font. Okay. Now you know how to save project. Sorry, to save project you must go to file, menu bar up here. You go to file, and you can it's many got option here. You can quick export as PNG or export as. Okay, export as, you can choose your format, PNG, JPEG. Okay, or you can go to export, just quick export as PNG. It will this pop-up will come up, will appear, and choose where you want to save it and click save. So if you want to save your project, I mean you want to continue the project, not not export the image yet. So you go to click Control S or Command S here, save as. See PSD. Make sure the format is PSD so that you can continue editing your project. Anything, try to choose your folder, and then you can now you have the you have the file. So you can later on, if you want to open back this project, you can uh, just click the project file or open Photoshop first, and then click open just now on the left. Okay, that's pretty much of it. So you have any question? Maybe you wonder how to create anything that you any poster you have encountered. You want to ask me how to do that? You can ask. So I've explained every basic tools like in Photoshop. Inshallah. We have reached 7:47. I have no problem to extend a bit for you to learn. So yeah, later we will move on to practical session lah, and then you can ask me from there if you want. Okay, back to our MC. How?
Okay. Thank you, Brother Taufik, for the informative sharing of practical lesson. Sekejap. If you have any questions, you can write it down in our chat box, and Brother Taufik will answer the question next. And then now I open the floor for all participants. If you have any feedback to share, feel free to unmute your microphone and you can write it down in the chat box. Okay. Do you guys have any question?
May I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
In the toolbox, what is the function of the button that has two squares?
Two squares.
More down, more. Yeah, this one. The white and blue box.
This one is for just for
no, the one above it.
Okay, sorry. This just
the blue and white square.
And white. Selection color. This sorry. This is selection color. This is the main color. The blue is main color. The upper box is main color. And then for the lower box is for second color. Just our choose of box lah. Choose of color. Just our prepared color. Let's say you can double click on that box. You can choose any color. For the second color also you can. If you want to go back to black and white, as you can see the small icon here. Click there and then it goes back to black and white. Just a color palette that you can prepare lah. if you want to make any design. Maybe some posters they have color theme. Maybe they have these two colors and it's for fast selection lah. Okay. Okay. So I want to trip and then I want to remove people from my background in my photos. Do I use healing or cloning stem tool? It has many ways to do that. Okay. So let's say we want to remove photos, you can uh, you can use many ways lah. Advanced ways is to now currently we have this uh, what we call content aware field. We just select what we want to just select anything that we want and then go to image, go to sorry, content aware. Content aware field. It just content aware field is just remove our object that we select and then but it also depends on our image lah. If our image tu macam background dia the background is plain or have not many not many objects our in the background, then it can easily remove lah. But if the image is complex with backgrounds and complex with background, and then it's not easy to remove juga. It's not easy to remove with complex background. See, I made content aware field. So I can remove these flowers. I can remove these flowers, but because of our background is not easy, and then it's not ni lah. I don't have I want to share photos here. It's not I cannot find any photos referring lah right now to show. So now I've removed the flowers. Okay. So any other question?
I think there's from Brother Mustafa. You asked for poster because we are actually running out of time. I don't think we have enough time for that. Because we will end, we supposed to end it on 12 a.m., 12 p.m. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, I don't think we have time for that. So, do you guys have any other question?
Okay. What about we change a bit? Okay. uh, at first I want to ask organizers lah, if it's okay, we're not gonna do the practical session because it takes time. Why not I will show you from scratch I create the posters but slowly show you the step. How about that?
Brother Taufik, if you have time to design from scratch, I think it's fine. It's okay if you have time. But if you don't have time, we can just proceed to the end lah. Macam tu.
Okay, I will show. Okay, and I choose the first one, option one. I will show you from scratch.
Okay. Sure. Boleh. Okay, thank you, Brother Taufik.
Okay. So Bismillah. So now we create a new project. We click Command N, or we can go here, File, Open, Create New. Okay. We choose and we choose any preset. Say we choose F4 but with landscape here. Okay. So we create project. Okay. So now we want to create. We have a background. Maybe okay. We create a background. We want to have a background in the. We want to have image in the background. So we find a new. Okay. I'm then just using this photo, this image, and then I want to resize that. As you can see, the size is not similar to F4, so I resize the image. Set as I must set. Press D, select the photo image, and then Control Command T, and then I can resize this image here. Okay, sorry, just create a new one. I create shape. Yeah. Okay. Go to shape tool, or you press U. You can have the shape tool. As you can see, the shape is heavy. Have what we call this not so to adjust that. You can adjust the edge of the shape. So you want to have sharp edge, you must adjust from here. This is a new Photoshop lah. So now we have background. Okay, we have background. Let's say we want to add text. Go to T or press T. You can press any Y. So Photoshop plus Photoshop plus. So like this. So we select all the text. We want to change color of our text. We select all, and then we go up here at the box color. You can change your color here. Okay. Okay. Now we have font and text. Okay. So now we want to add image of our pen speaker. Okay. Any photos that you already remove the background lah. Okay. So now the photos is already removed. Background already removed here. You can just drag this image. You can just drag this image into our project. Now we have the image. As you can see, I don't know you can see clearly or not. The image background is not properly removed. You can see the white, you know. So you need to touch up a little bit more. We click we choose image in the layer. We click eraser tool. We can remove. Okay, must be careful lah. Tengok tadi terpadam my body. Okay. That's how we want to check our background. We must put any background, color background, so that we can detect any error in our image lah. So we have photos. So resize that. Okay. Let's say we want to have a little bit or a shape back behind me. So we add shape. And okay, let's try another way. We want to have what we call blob effect, blob shape. So we go to pen tool or press P, pen tool, okay, and then we create a new shape, okay. So now we already connect our dot here, so we close the shape. Now we go to shape, okay, shape here. So now we have our own shape, but we need to change the color. So we go here, we see at the layer, it has this icon, right? You can change, you need to double click, and then we can change the color of our shape. Let's say I want to use this color. Okay. Okay, now the shape is in front of my image, so on top. So I want to bring the shape behind me, so I will just drag the layer like this. Okay, so now the shape is behind me. Okay, so now you need you want to add logos ke, you can just drag any logos from your file, can drop here. Okay. Okay, sorry. maybe I just drop my logo here. Okay, logo. Any logo that you want? Maybe IIUMFM. Okay. And then what? What more? You can suggest here. What effects more do you want? I will do it here. I can show you. Okay. Let's say you want just a quick one. Let's say you want to add shadows on your image. Shadows. You can go. You can see the layer here. Okay. You double click the layer. Double click here. Double click and then this will pop up, and then you can see there are many effect here. You can drop shadows and then you can see you can adjust the shadow. Okay. See, our image is not clean. Background is not. I'm not properly removed. It's not properly removed. That's why when we add shadows, you can see the it's not properly removed. That's why we need to very careful lah with the background remover. That's why the safest way to remove background, I will use pen tool instead of background. Instead of using erasers or selection tool, I will use okay. So now we have shadows on our background. Okay, what more? Anything? So if you want to lock the layer, let's say just now I want to remove this logo, but I accidentally remove this layer. So if you want to lock the layer, you must go here, add the layer, and then you select layer that you want to lock, and then it can be removed, and then select the layer and click here the lock icon. So the background cannot be moved. Okay, anything? So and then after you finish, let's say you have finished your project, you want to export the project, you go to file and go to export as or export PNG. Put export as PNG. Okay. You want to save this project also, you can go to file, save. Again, go to any folder you want. Make sure it's PSD. PSD is Photoshop format lah. Then you click save. Then the project is saved. You can open it later or continue your project. Okay. Question. So committees, any announcement? Simple Photoshop. Okay, simple design. So I want to bring. Okay, think. Okay, any question? Can we use LUTs in Photoshop to enhance photo light color? If yes, how? We only have to use Lightroom for that kind of. Okay, to edit color, you can. It's not basic, but I will show you quick one. So you must select the image you want to edit. Go to image. Go to adjustment. Go to LUTs. LUTs. I mean, you cannot have preset or preset, but you can customize the edit lah. You can you can adjust the color balance, black, white, hue, saturation. You can edit in curves. Okay. Okay, color. And many more lah. For yes, for the Lightroom is more convenience lah for LUTs in photos. Any question? No? Any suggestion to our basic Photoshop apa poster here? You want me to add? Shadows in the text as well. Yes. Same with how we add text on image here. So you can click on our text, so that now you can see our text is selected. Go here and double click, go to drop shadows. You can now we have shadows on our background, and then we can adjust lah the size of our shadows, how sharp our shadows, or you can adjust the angle of our shadow. You can also change the color of your shadows if you want. Let's say the black is now, so you can have the play with the colors. Now we have shadows for our text. It's not just text shadows. We can also have stroke. Stroke means you can have the outer like this. Okay, you can change color of your stroke. Okay. Any question like this? When 12:16. So yeah, back to committee slide. If you have any announcement.
Do you have any last question? Or okay. I think we don't have any question anymore. Okay. So I would like to, okay. Thank you, Brother Taufik, for the tips and beneficial knowledge in Photoshop. Hoping that all participants will get the information from this program, you can apply it to your assignments, project, and all that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our workshop. On behalf of the entire committee of the Upskilling Students Needs Photoshop Workshop 2021, I would like to thank all the participants and parties involved in ensuring the success of this workshop today. I would like to thank Brother Taufik Manasi again for the knowledge and useful technique that you have teach all of us today. May Allah bless you. We hope that all of you gain beneficial knowledge and may practice it in your assignments and or projects. So we would like to apologize for any shortcomings throughout this event. Indeed, the best comes from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and the light comes from our own weakness. A kind reminder to all participants, don't forget to fill in the form that is provided in the chat box. Thank you. So before we end our slot for today, we will have a photography session. So everyone, can you turn on your camera and smile? Okay, everyone is ready?
Wait, camera, okay. All right, so are you guys ready? I'm gonna take one picture. One, formal one, okay? Smile, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait. Okay, freestyle. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you everyone.
With that, let us all end this session with tasbih kafarah and surah Al-As. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brother Taufik.
Thank you, Brother
Recording
Taufik.
stopped.
Sorry ya.
Thank you, Brother Taufik. I think hari ni pun kita tak ada masa sangat kan. We only have about 2 hours. So I think tak apalah. I think the participants semua dapatlah apa yang diorang nak form today because I already mentioned to them yang our Photoshop workshop today is only basic and diorang semua beginners. So memang diorang expect to learn from zero lah kiranya macam tu. Okay.
Kalau dia orang expect lain tu tak syukur lah kan.
Tak apa, mungkin dia orang kena pergi workshop yang advance sikit lah. Macam tu lah. Okay, Nakibah baru masuk.